Okay, so today, let's dive into something pretty fascinating and relevant,
Yeah.
especially with how we learn and work today.
Mm-hmm.
Think about all the content out there, like lectures, meetings, webinars.
Right. Yeah.
There's just so much video content. It's kind of overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
Now, imagine if we had AI that could watch it for us.
Oh, wow.
And I don't just mean like watch it, but actually understand the videos like some sort of super-powered assistant
Yeah.
that could answer our questions and even pinpoint like the exact moments that we need from those videos.
That would be amazing.
That's what we're looking at today.
Wow.
It's a huge challenge.
It is, because we're talking about AI processing just massive amounts of information, especially with long videos.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what makes this research paper that you sent over so interesting.
Yeah.
It's called LongVU, and it tackles this head on, and it's based on something called Multimodal Large Language Models, or MLLMs for short.
Right. So what's really fascinating about these MLLMs is that they can process both text and visual information. So they're not just reading transcripts, they're actually seeing what's happening.
So they're watching the video.
Yeah. But the tricky part is that long videos require a lot of memory for an AI to hold all that information in its mind at once.
Right.
It's like trying to juggle too many balls at once.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're going to drop some.
Exactly. And the longer the video, the more balls the AI has to juggle.
Exactly.
So how does LongVU handle this without, losing all those important details?
Well, imagine you're skimming through a meeting recording.
Okay.
You're probably going to focus on the parts where key decisions were made.
Right.
Or actions discussed.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't pay attention to every second.
Yeah.
So LongVU does something similar. It uses a special technique to identify those redundant frames.
Okay.
Like those long static shots where nothing much is changing visually.
So instead of trying to remember everything, it's learning to prioritize.
Precisely. And it uses these things called DOV2 features.
Okay.
They basically capture the visual essence of each frame. And by analyzing these features, LongVU can figure out which frames are crucial to keep and which ones can be compressed without losing important information.
That's incredibly clever, but how does it know what's important?
Whoa.
Wouldn't compressing frames make it miss details?
That's where the real magic happens.
Okay.
LongVU uses your question, the specific thing you want to know about the video,
Right.
to guide its compression.
Okay.
So if you ask, what was decided in this meeting?
Right.
LongVU will focus on those moments where decisions were made.
Oh, so it's tailoring itself to my needs.
Exactly. And it goes even further with something called spatial token compression.
Okay.
Imagine each frame is like a giant mosaic.
Okay.
Spatial token compression is like removing redundant tiles from that mosaic without changing the overall picture.
Mm-hmm.
This allows LongVU to analyze more frames without overloading its memory.
So it's like LongVU is a master of efficiency, finding ways to squeeze every bit of understanding out of the video while still staying within its memory limits.
Exactly.
But does this actually work in practice?
Right.
Can LongVU really understand complex hour-long videos?
That's where the research gets really interesting.
Okay.
The paper shows LongVU outperforming other models, even those from big tech companies,
Wow.
on a variety of tasks. And this includes accurately describing scenes, identifying actions, and even answering complex questions about videos that are over an hour long.
That's really impressive. But what really stood out to me was this needle in a haystack experiment.
Yeah.
They literally hid a specific image within an hour of footage
Right.
and asked LongVU to find it.
Yeah, it's a great analogy because it highlights how effective LongVU's compression strategy is.
Mm-hmm.
Even with all that compression, it was able to pinpoint the exact frame
Wow.
where that image appeared, like finding a single grain of sand on a beach.
That's mind-blowing. So this is more than just a cool research project.
It is.
This is a real step towards AI that can truly understand long-form video, not just those short clips.
Absolutely.
This could change how we interact with video content forever.
Absolutely. But how does LongVU actually achieve this? How does it translate all that visual information into something it can understand and reason about?
Yeah, it's a great question. That's what we'll delve into next.
Perfect.
In part 2, we'll take a look under the hood and explore the technical wizardry that makes LongVU tick. So stay tuned. Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of LongVU. We talk about the potential of AI that can understand hour-long videos, but now let's unpack how LongVU actually pulls this off.
Right.
It's not magic, although it might feel like it sometimes.
Yeah, it's a combination of clever engineering and some really innovative approaches to AI.
In part 1, we touched on LongVU's 3-step compression strategy. It almost feels like LongVU is a super efficient video editor, cutting out the fluff and focusing on the good stuff.
That's a great analogy.
And like a good editor, LongVU needs the right tools for the job.
Right.
One of those tools is DynoV2, a powerful AI model that helps LongVU understand the visual content of each frame.
Right.
Okay, DynoV2 is like LongVU's eyes.
Exactly. But instead of just seeing pixels,
Right.
DynoV2 is trained to recognize visual patterns and objects, essentially extracting the meaning from each frame.
So it's not just seeing a red blob. It's understanding that red blob is an apple.
Precisely. And it goes even further, understanding the relationships between objects, the context of the scene, and even subtle changes in the visual information from frame to frame.
That's incredible. But how does that help LongVU deal with the massive amounts of data in a long video?
Well, remember those redundant frames we talked about, those long stretches where nothing much is changing?
Right.
DynoV2 helps LongVU identify those sections and compress them without losing important information. It's like summarizing a paragraph into a single sentence. Keeping the core meaning, but removing the unnecessary words.
That makes sense. So DynoV2 helps LongVU become a master of efficiency, but we still have to connect those visuals to language, right? We need AI that can understand not just what it's seeing, but also how to describe it in words.
Absolutely. And that's where another powerful AI tool comes in, SIGLIP. Yes, this model is specifically designed to bridge the gap between images and words, helping LongVU translate the visual information into something language models can understand.
So SIGLIP is like the interpreter helping LongVU speak the language of both images and text.
Exactly. By combining the strengths of DynoV2 and SIGLIP, LongVU can process those visuals, extract the meaning, and connect it to the words and concepts we use to describe them.
That's really clever. It's like LongVU is becoming multilingual, fluent in both the language of visuals and the language of text.
Yeah.
But let's go back to those 3 steps of compression. How does the text query, the question we ask LongVU, play a role?
This is where LongVU gets really smart. It uses our question to guide its compression strategy, ensuring it doesn't lose the information that's most relevant to our needs. Imagine you're asking LongVU to find a specific moment in a long video, like when a deal is closed in a business meeting.
Okay, so I ask LongVU, when was the deal finalized?
Right. LongVU would use your question to identify the frames most likely to contain that information. It might prioritize frames where people are shaking hands, signing documents, or using specific language related to agreements.
So it's not just blindly compressing frames, it's using my question as a guide to prioritize what's important.
Exactly. It's like having an assistant who knows what you're looking for and highlights the most relevant parts of a long document. And then there's that final layer of compressed spatial token compression.
Right. That's the one where it compares pixels within a frame to find redundancies, kind of like how image compression works on our phones.
You got it. It's like reducing the file size of an image without losing the important details. This allows LongVU to handle even more frames without exceeding its memory capacity, which is crucial for those hour-long videos.
So by combining these 3 steps, LongVU manages to process those massive videos efficiently and intelligently.
Yes.
But it's one thing to have a clever algorithm. It's another to actually see it work in the real world. Does LongVU actually live up to the hype?
That's the question, right? And the research results are incredibly promising. LongVU has been tested on a wide range of video understanding tasks, and it consistently outperforms other state-of-the-art models, especially when it comes to long videos. It's not just matching their performance, it's exceeding it by a significant margin.
That's impressive. So we're not just talking about theory here. This is a real breakthrough with tangible results.
Right.
But can you give us a sense of what these video understanding tasks actually are? What is LongVU actually good at?
Well, one task is accurately describing scenes.
Okay.
Imagine you're watching a movie and you want to know what's happening in a particular scene.
Okay.
LongVU can analyze that scene and generate a detailed description, including the objects present, the actions taking place, and even the overall mood or atmosphere.
So it's not just saying there's a table and a chair. It's saying this is a tense meeting in a corporate boardroom.
Exactly. It's understanding the context and meaning of the scene, not just the individual elements, and it goes beyond description. LongVU can also answer complex questions about the video, like what were the key decisions made in this meeting, or what led to the climax of this movie?
That's where it starts to feel like real intelligence, not just pattern recognition. It's actually understanding the narrative and extracting meaning from it.
Right. And remember that needle in a haystack experiment we talked about?
Oh, right.
That highlights another impressive capability, finding specific moments within hours of footage. Yeah. It's not just about understanding the overall video, it's about pinpointing those crucial details that might be easy for a human to miss.
So it's like having a super-powered search engine for video, but instead of keywords, you can ask complex questions and get precise answers.
Exactly. And this has huge implications for how we work with video content, from education to entertainment security and beyond. We'll explore some of those exciting possibilities in part 3.
Perfect. I can't wait to dive into those applications and see what the future holds for this technology. Let's take a quick break and come back to explore those exciting possibilities in part 3. And we're back for the final part of our deep dive into this fascinating world of LongVU.
Yeah.
We've explored the research, and now it's time for the really fun part, imagining the future. What doors does this open?
Right.
What could a world where AI truly understands video look like?
Well, I think we've all experienced the frustration of sifting through hours of meeting recordings.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine AI that can not only transcribe those meetings, but also provide a concise summary of the key decisions,
Okay.
action items, even the overall sentiment.
So it's like having an AI note-taker who can cut through the noise and highlight what's important. This could be huge for remote teams where, staying aligned and informed can be a real challenge.
Exactly. And it really aligns perfectly with this shift towards more flexible work environments.
Right.
But it's not just about summarizing information.
Okay.
It's about understanding the nuances of human interaction.
Oh, okay.
Imagine AI that can analyze those subtle nonverbal cues like facial expressions and body language
Okay.
to provide deeper insights into the dynamics of a meeting.
So it's not just what's being said, but how it's being said. That could be incredibly valuable for understanding team dynamics, resolving conflicts, improving communication overall.
Absolutely. And this type of analysis could have far-reaching applications beyond the workplace.
Like what?
Think about security and surveillance. Instead of relying on humans to monitor endless hours of video footage, we could have AI systems that can accurately identify suspicious activity in real time.
That's a powerful idea.
Yeah.
It could make our cities safer, improve security at large events, and even help in disaster response by quickly analyzing footage to identify those in need of assistance.
Right. And it's not just about reacting to events.
Right.
This kind of AI could also be used proactively to identify potential safety hazards or predict patterns of criminal activity.
It's almost like having an AI guardian constantly watching and analyzing the world around us to keep us safe.
Speaking of guardians, imagine the impact this technology could have on healthcare AI that can analyze medical scans to detect subtle abnormalities that might be missed by the human eye.
Right.
Or monitor patients remotely to identify early signs of deterioration.
That could be revolutionary, especially for conditions where early detection is key. It's like having a tireless, ever-vigilant assistant for doctors, helping them make more accurate diagnoses and provide better care.
And it's not just about diagnosis and monitoring. AI could also personalize treatment plans based on a patient's unique medical history and genetic makeup.
It's about using AI to empower healthcare professionals, giving them the tools to make more informed decisions and ultimately save lives.
Right. And let's not forget about education. Imagine classrooms where AI can observe students as they learn, not in a big brother way, but in a way that allows for personalized learning experiences.
This is something I find particularly exciting. AI that can identify when a student is struggling, provide tailored support in real time, and even recommend different teaching methods based on individual learning styles.
It's about moving away from the one-size-fits-all approach to education and creating learning environments that cater to each student's unique needs and abilities.
It's about unlocking the full potential of every learner, and these are just a few examples. The potential applications of LongVU's technology are truly limitless, from self-driving cars that can navigate complex environments to AI-powered assistants that can help us manage our lives more effectively. The possibilities are mind-boggling.
It's a future where AI seamlessly integrates into our lives, not as a replacement for human intelligence,
Right.
but as a powerful tool that augments our capabilities and helps us solve complex problems.
It's a future where we can focus on what truly matters: creativity, connection, innovation, while AI takes care of the mundane and the complex.
But as we embark on this exciting journey, it's crucial to remember the importance of responsible AI development.
Right.
We need to ensure that AI is used for good, that it's fair, unbiased, and accessible to all.
It's about creating a future where AI benefits all of humanity, not just a select few. It's a future worth striving for, and we at the Deep Dive are excited to be a part of this conversation.
Absolutely.
We hope this deep dive has sparked your imagination and given you a glimpse into the transformative power of AI. Thank you for joining us. If this episode has got you thinking about what you would do with an AI that could truly understand hours of video, We'd love to hear your ideas. Share your thoughts on social media using #TheDeepDive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep into the fascinating world of AI.